um 25 or 6. So 25 or 6. So Ike doesn't know how old it is. Um, yeah, and Eddie kind of like mumbled all night. That was weird. And I'm wondering, I think that's what Lincoln did, right? Didn't he kind of talk to him, mumble all for like 12 hours and then die?
I have no idea.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So I'm wondering if that's where he got that from. Well, Lincoln influence, because all the conspiracy people will tell you that the Lincoln, if you compare Lincoln and Kennedy, there's like parallels to both their, you know, lives, presidencies, assassinations. You can do all the stuff, and we know how obsessed he is with Kennedy. So maybe we borrowed some Lincoln there. Matter of fact, the what was I just reading? Was it the Dinky one where he mentions Kennedy's assassination?
Well, he mentions it. There's a door. He mentions the door again under FedEx to
Maybe that's what it was.
1963.
I don't know if I would have put the 9/11 door in there. I'm kind of conflicted about that.
He did he? I don't think he mentioned that.
Yeah, come see 9/11 2001.
Yeah.
You could like
Oh,
buy a
oh,
flag or
right,
something
right,
or
right.
souvenir.
Forgot about that.
And he wrote this in what 2004. Like, ooh, that's not that long after.
There was a moment too where one of them looks at New York and we're like, man, that would be scary if a plane ever hit the skyline or something like that. And I'm like, oh ho ho, like all these Easter eggs 9/11. It's weird.
Yeah, like too soon.
No, it's not
Uh,
well, maybe, but for back
Well, not
then,
now. Yeah,
it's just funny.
yeah. Yeah, don't they put Black 13 there? Like, like what could possibly happen at the World Trade Center? Come on, it's safe. Like, because he knows, like he's being a snarky old bastard. Because he knows when he's writing that exactly what could happen.
That's my
He
point.
wrote a story. Is it in Everything's Eventual about like missing objects from 9/11 victims randomly being returned to family members or something? It was like his tribute to the victims.
That's weird. I mean, it's
I can't remember.
fine, but it's interesting.
Oh, he's still Stephen King, right? So you gotta have, what a twist. I don't remember what it was called. Um, anyway, uh, where were we? Trying to process Eddie's getting his head blown off. Stupid Penley premise. So what happened? We thought he was dead and he wasn't, right?
Eddie?
Didn't no, Penley didn't double tap him.
Well, we knew. Yeah. Yes.
Pretty much. I think you go in 19.
Yeah.
Like how Jake's like conflicted about whether he should fucking drink beer and smoke cigarettes. Like, really, is that what you're worried about right now? Like I had always said I would never smoke, and now here I am. Like you're 12. What do you mean you had always said you would never smoke? Since you were what 5?
Yeah, I'm like, if those are your
Um,
two vices after the life you lived, I think you're fine.
right,
Yeah.
right. Because at this point you're on deck to be rolling, right? Because that's who you're going to be if you know you live long enough, which you don't. But we didn't know that yet. So, um, I think, yeah, drinking and smoking are at least your. Yeah, that's like you said. If that's your only vices, I think you're ahead of the curve there. Yeah, that's all. I'd like to hear a voice in your head say, to me, Jake, he's going. How are you? Jake's he does a good job of like Jake's such a stupid kid. He's worried about the wrong things. He's like, I won't cry. I won't cry. Like nobody cares if you cry. Stop that. Like in his head. Yeah, and that's something that like I could see, someone worrying about
Oh yeah.
at that age.
I mean, even
It's like,
Roland, it takes Moses and them. I think that was them, right? When they were like, "You can cry in front of us, like please do," and he did.
Yeah, I was not sure how that made me feel. I don't know if I like that.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. But yeah, Roland's not usually that emotional. Cry or no cry, or whether you're allowed to or not. Like, yeah, I'm good. Um, but I don't know. I guess he really cares this time. How many times do you have to kill Jake before he cries?
Damn.
Well, he's not the most like. I gotta tell you, he's not the most likable character, and we're stuck with the two that were like, okay. I don't really care about either one of them. What's Oli up to? I'm gonna follow him.
Yeah, but
Yeah, at least Oi's still there.
I was gonna say it makes me appreciate Oi so much more too, because I'm like, it kind of reminds me of Jake, and so I'm like, oh, he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even Oi is sad because now I feel like I know that he's just gonna like do whatever Jake told him to do, and when he feels like that mission is done, he's out. See you. Like he's gonna go lay down and die somewhere, or or back. Well, I guess he can't find Jake now, right? Because
Well,
they're in a different
gonna
world.
meet him at the end of the clearing.
Right. So he's gonna get to the clearing, I guess. Yeah. However, he has to get there. That would be the one at the end of the path. Where's the clearing at the beginning or the middle of the path? Like, kind of hang out at that one for a little while.
Is that Limbo?
Right? Why we gotta go straight to the end? I mean, man.
I think
Stop smelling the rose.
clearing at the middle of the path is just life.
They call that your 40s.
Right.
Midlife crisis.
Yeah. Where's my Corvette? My brother just said that. He's like, I don't like the new Corvette, so I don't think I'm going to buy one. I'm like, yeah, that's just the reason. He's not going to buy one because you don't like it. So that's mighty noble. Yeah, I'm still trying to get through Eddie. It's taking a while. I like how like Roland like knocks on the door and like Suzanne doesn't answer at first. Like not sure she even wants him in there.
I mean,
Vibe I
yeah.
was getting. I mean, I go back to the narrator. I'm like, okay, you could be mad at him. And I guess it's not like you really ever had a choice either. That's part of the problem. It's not like you picked it. You were like thrust into this, whether you liked it or not. So here you go. And now you make a life out of it, and then it gets taken from you. Like, what? Should just let me hang out in the store with my, 3 people in my head stealing jewelry. That was fine. Like, what was the point in making me go through all this? What the fuck did you actually need me for?
Well, they're not done yet.
She's the last one.
Their
Basically.
goal is still to get to the tower.
I mean, and if you're her, I mean, the writing's on the wall, right? I mean, the man didn't. Who was it? The man in black that said it. Death, but not for you. Like no one makes it with Roland. It's going to be Roland in the tower. So I mean, she isn't it in this part where she's like, we're finishing this. No, like no matter what, she's like, I'm all in.
Yeah, because that's what Eddie would have wanted.
Like I'm standing 6 feet behind you. You don't stand behind me. Just so you know. And Mordred, like I just kind of forgot about that guy. There's so much fucking bad shit happening.
Yeah, I forgot about him too.
And then they're like, watch out for Mordred. Like, oh yeah, him. Roland's like, oh yeah, well, we're gonna kill him and this and that. I was like, maybe if you loved your son a little bit, we wouldn't be going through this. Like, did you ever try to embrace him and I don't know, talk to him?
I mean,
Mordred's clearly got issues.
Conflicting because like Mordred even kind of thinks that too. He's like, if I tried and connected with him, would they even let me? But I feel like it's the same way. Like if Roland even did try and be like, son, like, come bond with me.
Right? We would hug each other and walk off into the sunset.
Yeah. Like, no, I'm supposed to kill you.
Right? More to be eating them while they walk into the sunset.
I mean, even when we thought it was Eddie and Susanna's, like we've always been saying, it's a demon baby. That thing has to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, why does he exist? Was Mordred supposed to
Well,
kill Roland? That's the point in his existence?
I think that's what they said. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Seems like a really roundabout plan. If you were controlling the breakers, couldn't you just tell them, like, hey, kill anybody that comes near this place? Like, that's a pretty powerful group there.
Yeah, I don't really understand this plan. Like, was this the Crimson King's plan? Because how does that, like, Mordred clearly does not give a fuck about his island dad.
It does kind of sound like the plan of a crazy person.
Well, that's also true. I
So,
keep forgetting that he's insane.
right. So nobody ever said it was a good plan. Yeah, they're all like, yes, boss. Good plan, boss. Good plan.
That's an excellent point. Yeah.
Which I guess it actually makes sense when I say it out loud. Because it seems so roundabout the way they're doing things.
Like, how, so I guess people don't really realize that the plan is basically to end all universes, but, like, how did he get followers? Like, oh yeah, my master plan is to topple the Dark Tower and the beams and to kill everyone.
You should read Revival.
I feel like it wasn't always his plan maybe to topple it, and I don't know. The longer he was there, the more.
Hey, that guy talks a good game. What can I say? He's one hell of a pitchman. I mean, how do you talk to suicide bombers into thinking that's a good idea? Somebody's going to do it. I kill myself and I get 77 versions, right? They didn't tell me they were all men. What the hell? It says watch out for Dando like 25 times. Like, okay, what the fuck is a Dando?
Yeah, have we heard that before now, other than like in this book?
Other than this chat, like before they started saying this shit, when Eddie was dying, right? Like before Eddie said watch out for Dando, was there anything about that before
I
that?
don't think so.
I don't remember. I feel like we did see him see that word, and it like had some significance for him, but I don't remember what it was or why it did.
I do think
Well,
you're
Eddie?
right, because he's the key. Eddie was the key guy, so that was a key.
Who's the key? Dando?
No, he probably, I don't know, like he may have seen it like written somewhere.
Yeah, where's he getting his info from?
He said he had a vision when he was dying, whatever that means.
Yeah, a vision. He had a giant hole in his head. No wonder he's seen it.
Good point.
Okay. Everybody calls him Charlie Man now. We're using Char a lot more. It feels a little forced. I like how Shimi's running around fucking Beam's great. Beam says thank you. Everybody rejoice. Shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear that.
Every time we have a victory, it's like so quickly followed by sadness. Like in these last few books, like there's no happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we're not that far removed from the goddamn, Benny Slightman getting blown up.
And Susanna disappearing.
Well, yeah, if you want to get mad at somebody, get mad at yourself. Running off like that.
Get mad at your other self.
I feel like that even goes back to Wizard and Glass too, though, because like Roland and Elaine and Cuthbert, like defeat this huge army with like Jonas and his people, but then Susan dies.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And he kills his mom.
Right.
So it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of been this way all along.
That's fair. I mean, Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just slower, like at the part where the doors. Maybe not though. I can't even remember anymore.
Just skip
Like,
that book.
there's more time in the beginning when they're still training and stuff, and like now that they're trained, it's just kind of like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, that
Well, I
that's
remember
the
all this is post accident, so he wrote it boom, boom, boom. Like
That's also true.
this is one long book. I like how it was a girl that kissed Jake, and like you could feel her hard breath, and would remember them their feel against him the rest of his life, which
Yeah.
oh,
apparently turns out to be about 10 more minutes. You know,
Oh, I didn't
like,
even
well,
think about that.
at least he got a kiss though.
yeah. But I was laughing at that. I was like, "You snarky bastard! There you go again." Because you know exactly how much longer that is. Like it's not that impressive when you realize his life ends in the next chapter. Um, yeah, the I just after after Jake died and Roland's traveling, like I read it all, but I kind of didn't care anymore. It was just
Yeah. Well, and
it was,
I feel
it was too much.
like we read a whole lot of pages for not a whole lot to actually happen.
There's a lot of grief.
Like Eddie officially died, Jake died, and they dealt with Stephen King, which is so weird to say still. And that's kind of it.
Yeah, well, they went to see Moses.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess like that just doesn't feel important to me. And maybe
Yeah.
it is, and I just don't know. But
Well, I mean, it's important in that they're the ones running that stopped Sombra from taking over the lot, and
What did
they
Roland
like,
do? Like, all he did was they gave him gifts, right? Like, I thought was like how? Yeah, they already know everything.
well,
I'm
that's
not
a
saying
good
he
point.
shouldn't have stopped there, but I
What did he
don't.
need to go there for? What did he get there that he needed to go there for? I can't really think of anything
The
other
walking.
than I don't know.
They gave him
did
a.
he
I
just
don't know.
need to see the rose to make sure it was still there?
What did he do? Yeah, they talked
I mean, he
and
got the
then they gave
cross
him some
back
shit.
that he said he was going to take to the tower, but I don't see that as necessary.
I mean, he tells people lots of things. I'm not worried about that. It was that Aunt Talitha from River Crossing, right?
Yeah.
Way back. That was before Gasher.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I forget. Yeah. Still say he would have just shot Gasher in the head and asked questions later. You were going to do what now? Um. Yeah, I mean, it might actually be a short fucking podcast because it's just so much pain, but not a lot happening, right?
And I think we call out
Uh,
like a lot of the big stuff. Like I said, the insomnia shout out.
yeah, I'm going through it. Oh, I saw John Cullum somewhere else. Like somebody, yeah, it might have been even in the real world. Somebody's named John Cullum that he knows. Because I think he might. Wait, is there a book somewhere that I think I saw was dedicated to John Cullum? I think. I was like, wait a minute. Now it's getting confusing. Is that a real person or not? Not that it was, straightforward before. And Brian Smith's name is even spelled with a Y like that. That's why it stands out to me. That's why I
So
knew
funny.
who it was.
Like, you can hit me, but you're gonna be in my book now.
Right? Yeah. I'll show you, fucker. I'm not even going to ask permission. Sue me. Or you can't.
Right.
'Cause you're dead. Yeah, he's dead, right?
I don't know.
Didn't but I'm pretty sure. And he like weirdly died like the next year to the day or some shit. It was
Oh.
like something that would only happen in a Stephen King book. Well, wait a minute. See, the lines are getting blurry. What? How do you? I can't say how did Brian Smith die because that's not exactly.
You mean on Google?
uncommon name. Yeah, like, how did Bob Jones die?
Right.
Um,
In Bangor, Maine.
maybe a banger. Oh, is it Turtleback Lane? How much of that's true? Do they actually have a house?
Right.
Is there actually a Turtleback Lane?
Well,
And did Stephen King actually buy the? Is it Turtleback Lane that they said he bought the house on? I can't remember.
it is
It was
very
like
like
John Cullen's house or something.
it's
Go ahead.
very
Sorry.
meta because normally, he'll say Derry or other towns that aren't actually Bangor, but like because we're talking about the actual author, it's like he writes about the town of Bangor. And like, oh, whoa, hey there.
Yeah, did he actually call it Kara Laughs? And what the hell does that mean?
I don't
It has
know.
an odd, like, it has an odd ring to it. Like, it sounds creepy. I don't know if it is.
It just I don't know why it doesn't mean anything, but I just hear pair of laughs, like Kara laughs, pair of laughs.
Yeah, well, that's not as creepy. Yeah, are the Dobermans real? That like, was it really Dobermans trying to eat that shit? Or,
Right?
or
Is that why he wasn't looking?
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I should know that. Or did he just make that part up? Maybe Brian Smith was like, I don't know, man. Just shit happens. Like, does he even have? He had. It was two. What Rottweilers, right? Isn't that right? What it was?
I think so.
I like how he's like any other human on Earth would have stopped the van and dealt with the dogs, but not Brian Smith.
He's like, you said he forgot he was on the road for a second.
Yeah. And I like how he's got him saying it's 19, man. Like, oh God. It's like the way he just, how much of that was real. The way he intertwines, like, I guess you would say reality and fiction is enough to keep it entertaining with him in it. Like, it doesn't annoy me like those parts because it actually cracked me up most of them.
I mean, this part was great. Like that. It's like once it put in the accident, sure. It's all of the like, I am God stuff that I'm a little iffy about.
Yeah.
Talk about therapy. Yeah, it is a little weird. Like Roland's praying to Stephen King. Like, okay, come on now.
And I mean, like he does throw in, like he even said, something about like, oh, Roland says, "Are you Gan?" "No," King said at once. "Once I thought he was, but that was just the booze." So it's like, he's kind of like making fun of himself, and it can not admit that, but like.
I can see him sitting there like high on coke and drunk, like I'm God. Like,
Yeah.
right there.
Where is this coming from?
Created something out of nothing.
Yeah.
People pay me for this shit. Can you believe that? Yeah, well, his whole point was he's not Gan because he's just the vessel that Gan works through or whatever.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Sounds close. That sounds like you're being a little nitpicky there, right?
Still sounds like you're calling yourself an apostle.
I mean, I think you're calling yourself God without actually doing it. Like, there is no God. Some of us just can hear what God says, and some can't.
That's right. That's worse. Now you're a cult leader.
Right now, I'm a prophet.
That's what I meant. Prophet, not apostle. Yeah.
Yeah. So that those parts are a little weird, but the whole accident scene was, yeah. I was kind of, I would have been cracking up about what's so goddamn sad.
Right. That's why I said my heart was racing. It's insane how he's able to write like you're watching an action scene.
Yes. Yeah, because I see it like a play almost, or a movie set. Like I see the screen in front of me.
I was kind of, and I know why he didn't write it this way because he still had to write the accident in there, but like I wish instead of them parking the car behind Stephen King, they would have just like rammed the van or something.
What do you mean?
Like hit the van with the truck that you're driving so it doesn't veer into Stephen King and it just veers off to the side, or like completely avoid the accident to start with.
Well, but that doesn't avoid an accident. How do you know like Roland wouldn't die in the car?
That's okay.
That's
As long as Dan doesn't die, he'd be all right. We can always write another Roland into the story.
I do think it is funny that
If
King.
Jake becomes Roland.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There we go. I'm fine with that.
I mean, he is kind of a mini Roland. All he needs is a cowboy hat. I don't know why he doesn't have one.
The problem is it's not a problem, but like Jake is way too empathetic to be Roland.
Yeah, true.
So
Jake had to die because he was too empathetic. Great.
pretty
Lovely.
much. He died twice, didn't he?
Yep.
Too soon.
Is that why Eddie died? Because he's too empathetic?
No, he was too sarcastic.
Uh-oh.
What's Susanna's?
I don't think I'm making it to the tower because I'm both of those things.
What I was gonna say is I think it is funny that he still was like, Stephen King is get hit and messed up, but not die. Like he's still got to learn a lesson.
Well, I mean,
obviously,
yeah,
I know that happened in real life, and so that's why it's part of the story. But it is like to Allie's point, like it could have just been something else, but it was still like, no, you're gonna, be almost paralyzed.
Right. Could have not hit him and be saved and start writing right away.
Right.
Well, I mean, Roland's been feeling like I said, he gave the pain back to him or something. It's like that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was such a slow build to that. Yeah, you had to. Roland was feeling that pain for what? It kind of started showing up at the Calla, right?
Yeah.
I don't really
Right
understand
after the
why. I guess
accident.
to let them know that Stephen King was going to get hit.
I never really understood. Like, it's not the dry twist, and then they just don't talk about it for like another 600 pages, or he doesn't talk about it. Not there.
Well,
Feels like a committee sometimes.
Why he even felt the pain? Like, what was the point of that? Like, I guess it was the final thing that helped them like put the connection together, but I don't think it was really necessary.
Maybe because he was feeling it when he was writing it.
That's true, yeah.
I'm not real sure. There's a lot of things that are weird, like spider babies with giant erections and stuff.
It is good to know that Roland doesn't have some super bad arthritis, and he's fine, I guess.
I'm still mad that he doesn't have his fucking 2 fingers on his right hand. It's all downhill from there.
It doesn't really seem to have affected his shooting.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to have come up a whole lot, right? Does he shoot with his right hand? I'm like, I can't.
I don't know.
He
just kind of shoots. I don't think we get to eat on that. What'd you say?
Well, because he had the 2 guns, so he was shooting with both.
Yeah, how the fuck did he do that?
But
I guess
for the longest time, Eddie had his right-hand gun.
Yeah. I guess you can still pull a trigger with it, missing your 2 fingers. Reloading might be tricky. Especially the way he did it in the movie. Oh, wait, there I go again. Yeah, and then so, yeah, what would he have done if Mrs. Tassenbaum didn't come back? Like, existence relied on her deciding to come back and pick up this gun.
Well, he said he would have figured it out.
Yeah, so Jake's just buried like a foot deep in the middle of the woods, like 100 yards off the road. Like, I don't feel very good about that.
Well, he doesn't have a lot of other options right now.
Yeah, he's like, well, we need rocks because there's wildlife around here. I'm like, what? Oh, don't say that.
What do you expect?
Well, I expect him not to get eaten by a moose while he's dying or dead. Or,
he's already dead.
Moose would eat him.
What does he call it? The lying down forever sleep? All that being dead time or whatever he said.
They can't exactly drive a young boy's dead body into New York City.
Well, it is New York City. They might not be the only ones to do it.
Fair.
Okay, yeah. So then, he mentions desperation by name too. So
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
I feel like desperation needs to go on the Dark Tower list as like insomnia and the stand. And if you do desperation, then you got to do the regulators.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, not that that's an issue. Oh no,
Everything is connected.
well, if it wasn't then, it is now. Yeah, like now we have to actually get to the tower. I kind of feel like it's over. Like they all died. Like, what's the next book?
Even when when they're figuring out the plan and they were like, okay, we're going to New York and we're gonna stop by Moses first, and then we're gonna go to the door. It's all like there's just a part of me that's like, great, awesome, this is amazing, I can't wait. Like you just, it feels like they're missing. You know what I mean? You can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm
Like-
even looking at it, I'm like, there's a third of the book left, and I know that it's supposed to be like this big penultimate thing of like them finally reaching the tower, or at least Roland finally reaching the tower. But I'm like, what is supposed to happen at this point? Like all the characters that I truly, genuinely cared and liked about, or liked and cared about, are no longer there. So I'm lacking motivation.
Yeah, it is a hard part of the book to get through. I will not be shy about that.
I want to say things that I really just can't. All I can say is, get to the end and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's almost dreamlike, and Roland's in a motel room fucking a housewife, and I'm like, what is going on right
They
now?
didn't have sex. Thank you very much.
I thought they did.
I thought they just cuddled.
The first night was the next night he nailed her.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Like she was all, hey, big boy.
Yeah. Because the first night they did just cuddle, but they were basically naked, and she was like aroused, but kind of like wouldn't put any moves on. So the next night, like she thought he felt like he owed her that.
Yeah, I totally missed that. I was listening to part of it on audiobook, so it must have been during that.
Right, you were watching the birds in the sky when they were talking about that. So yeah, like you see, that just proves my point. It all had like a dreamlike thing. Like I didn't even really like feel like it was real. It was so, I don't know, just odd. And maybe I was just so goddamn devastated by the chapter before that, and the chapter before that.
No, I agree.
It's like, okay, like I don't. Why? What is? It just seems. I don't know. Couldn't he have? And like you said, now I don't even see why he had to go see Moses, and I'm sure there was a reason, and I can't remember it for shit because they've been talking about it for 3 books. How they had to go see him, but from what I can remember of the meeting, there was nothing that happened that was crucial.
Yeah,
something about that watch that's important.
I do think the watch will be important because he said you might be able to tell
when something's near or something. It'll stop when you're near. Yeah, when you're near the tower, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, if you need a watch to tell you you're near the tower, I feel like something's gone wrong.
Maybe. Well, I honestly can't remember, but maybe it will come in handy on their next stop.
End of the podcast. Everybody say bye.
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 Bye.